She was lost, small, trembling, and alone on the edge of a burned-out colony. The human had no reason to stop, no orders to help, but he did. He picked her up, cleaned her wounds, and called her daughter. Years passed, laughter replaced silence, and a real family bloomed from the ashes. But one day, a figure emerged from the shadows, her real mother, eyes full of pain and wonder. She didn't want to take the child back, she wanted to stay too. And as the human looked between them, one alien child curled against his chest, and a weary mother whispering, "Please, let me stay," he realized his home was no longer his alone. The colony was dying, burned, broken, and left to rot under a cold alien sky. Jared didn't know why his shuttle had drifted off course, only that the storm had forced him down, and now he was walking the ash-blown surface of a world forgotten by every star chart he trusted. His boots crunched over shattered tiles and bent steel as he moved through the remains of what had once been a bustling settlement. Now it was a graveyard, silent but for the wind. He hadn't come to rescue anyone, he barely had enough rations for himself, but then he heard the noise. Faint. Soft. Like a hiccup swallowed in fear. He turned, scanning the ruins with his pulse hammer ready, eyes narrowed beneath the visor. Another sob, closer now. He stepped over a cracked wall, and froze. There, tucked beneath what used to be a loading ramp, was a small figure. Curled. Dirty. Alien. And very, very afraid. She had huge eyes, violet like gas clouds, fixed on him with both terror and something else. Hope. Her limbs were long and thin, skin a dusky gray with blotches that might have once been bright patterns. Now they were dull, covered in grime. She couldn't have been older than 5 or 6 by human standards. Jared knelt slowly, lowering the hammer, holding out a canteen. Her fingers trembled as she took it. She drank fast, then coughed, then looked up at him like he was some god out of myth. He didn't ask what happened. He didn't need to. A failed colony. A forgotten race. And a child left behind. She had no name, at least none she would speak. So Jared gave her one, Lissa. Short. Easy to say. She didn't speak for 3 days. Just followed him silently, eating what he offered, sleeping with her head against the emergency blankets. When they reached orbit again, Command wanted her processed, sent to some shelter system or alien holding program. Jared refused. "She's mine," he said simply. "I found her. I'll raise her." They didn't fight him on it, too many broken systems and red tape to care about one man and one child. So he brought her home. He wasn't rich, not even close. A small prefab dome out in the midsector, just enough credits to keep things powered and food stocked. But he worked, odd jobs, mech repairs, shuttle calibrations. And Lissa learned. She learned fast. She didn't just mimic, she understood. She'd take apart and reassemble a cooling unit before age 8. She could translate between 2 languages by 9. But more than that, she grew. Grew into herself. She laughed. She danced in the rain when he let her. She painted stars on the ceiling. Jared kept a hollow of her first real smile, wide and shy and crooked. He didn't show it to anyone, but he carried it with him always. They weren't just a pair, they were family. She called him Dad without being told. He pretended not to cry the first time. But the world didn't stop for happiness. At 10, Lissa started asking questions. About where she came from. About who had left her behind. Jared answered honestly, what little he knew. "I found you," he said. "You were alone. I didn't know where your people were." She nodded. Said nothing more. But she began digging, quietly, using his datapad when he wasn't looking. She was smart, too smart. And she found something. A transmission. Old, degraded, but containing her original genetic signature. A rescue beacon. Weak but real. She showed Jared. He didn't try to stop her. "If there's someone out there," he said, "we should try." It took them nearly a year to get a reply. And when it came, it was just coordinates. Deep rim. Unregulated space. No names. No message. Lissa insisted they go. Jared hesitated, but saw the look in her eyes. She needed to know. So they went. It was a barren world, hostile. No settlements. Just signal pings from a deep canyon network. They landed. Waited. And then she came. The woman was tall, regal, scars across her forearms and neck. Her skin matched Lissa's, though older, marked by ritual tattoos. Her eyes, same violet hue, widened when she saw the girl. She didn't run. She walked, slow, deliberate, like every step might shatter the illusion. Lissa stood frozen. Then ran into her arms. No words. Just sobbing. Jared turned away, gave them space. It was the right thing to do. He didn't belong in that moment. Not yet. Later, the woman came to him. Her voice was rough. You are the one who raised her. It wasn't a question. He nodded. Her name is Sale, she said. Born during the collapse. We thought her dead. Jared didn't speak. She continued, I survived. Barely. I've been searching ever since. I never believed I would find her. You did, he said. She hesitated. She has grown strong. A pause. You did well. He nodded. I love her, he said. She looked at him, really looked. And she loves you. Then, softly, I have nowhere to take her. I've been wandering. Hiding. Surviving. I cannot give her a future. Jared's brow furrowed. What are you saying? Sale looked down. I came to see her. To tell her she is not alone. But if she chooses to stay, I will not take her away. Jared didn't expect the ache in his chest. Relief, sorrow, everything at once. She'll want to know you, he said. Sale nodded. Then let me stay. Just for now. Until she decides. That night, Lissa sat between them. One hand holding Jared's. One hand holding Sale's. You're both my family, she said. And I don't want to lose either of you. Jared didn't move. Sale spoke first, then we stay. All of us. Together. And for the first time in years, Jared felt something shift. Not just as a guardian, but as part of something larger. Not just love, but belonging. Sale stayed. Not just for a day or two, but for weeks. Jared didn't ask how long she planned to remain. He didn't want to know. Part of him feared the answer. Another part hoped there wasn't one. At first, she kept her distance. She slept on the auxiliary cot in the storage module, ate silently, observed like a sentry who never rested. Lissa was patient. She didn't force closeness. She simply offered it, in small gestures. A bowl of warm food. A quiet question about her people. A brush of fingers against her arm when passing. Sale responded in kind, but cautiously. Her world had been torn apart too many times. Her trust, like ancient stone, was built slow. But Jared watched it form. He watched the way Sale began to linger in the evenings, staring up at the ceiling stars Lissa had painted. He saw her pause by the synth plants in the dome's corner, brushing their fronds with something like wonder. She never said it, but she liked the small things. The hum of the air recycler. The sound of Lissa's feet padding across tile. The smell of real broth bubbling on the warmer. Jared didn't intrude. He kept to his routine, maintenance during the day, mechanical commissions when he could get them. Nights he spent tinkering, or watching Lissa and Sale talk in their native tongue, soft syllables drifting through the dome like lullabies. It was a language Jared hadn't learned, not because he couldn't, but because he'd always let Lissa choose how much of her past she wanted to remember. Now she was choosing to reclaim it. That meant something. One morning, Jared stepped out to check the panel array and found Sale already there. Tools in hand. Hair pulled back. She didn't look up, just tightened a valve and muttered, "Your coolant regulators are ancient." He smiled. "Want the toolkit?" "I took it already," she said. "Your wiring's loose too." He chuckled. "That dome kept me and your daughter warm through 6 storms. "I can make it better," she said flatly. "If you'll let me." He paused. Then nodded. "All right. They're yours." She didn't smile, but her shoulders relaxed. From that day on, they worked in silence side by side. She didn't ask how things functioned. She figured them out. Jared admired that. She never boasted. Never compared. But when he asked her to pass a hydrospanner, she already had it in her hand. It was easy to fall into rhythm with her. Dangerous, even. Because there were moments, when her shoulder brushed his, or when she stood close reading the diagnostics, when Jared forgot that he had raised her daughter. That this woman, scarred and graceful and quiet, was not someone he had met on a simple walk in life. But someone whose history ran deep into Lissa's bones. Still, he couldn't help it. He was drawn to her. And slowly, without either of them saying it aloud, she was drawn to him. It was Lissa who noticed first. One evening, she found them sitting together, talking low about circuit optimization. She grinned, leaned against the doorframe, and said, "You look good together." Both adults turned. Sale blinked. Jared coughed. But Lissa didn't flinch. "I'm serious," she said. "You both care about the same things. About people. About me. Lissa, Sale said slowly, he raised you. I left me behind, Lissa finished, not harshly. Not by choice. But you weren't there. He was. He taught me to fix things. To trust. To laugh. She walked forward, placed a hand on Sale's. But you gave me my voice. My memories. My roots. She turned to Jared. So why not both? Sale looked stunned. Jared didn't dare speak. Lissa continued, you've been alone too long, both of you. But together, maybe we don't have to be anymore. Then she walked away, leaving a silence behind that wasn't awkward. Just full. The days after that changed. Not fast, but clearly. Sale stopped retreating to the storage cot. She moved her few belongings into the main room, next to Jared's tools. She began joining him and Lissa at every meal, not just eating but laughing. She told stories of her people, tales of sky dancers and river flutes and fire songs. Lissa listened with rapt attention. Jared listened to her voice. He loved that voice. Rough like gravel, but laced with something steady. It made him feel grounded. When Sale touched his arm now, there was no hesitation. No question. Just quiet trust. And Jared let himself hope. One evening, long after Lissa had gone to sleep, they sat on the small bench outside the dome. The stars above were endless, stretched like silver thread through black silk. Sale spoke first. I used to believe the stars watched us. Jared looked over. Still do sometimes. When I lost her, she said softly, I thought I had failed every ancestor who ever looked up and dreamed. You didn't, he said. You survived. That's more than most could do. She looked at him, really looked. And you gave her life again. Not just breath. But laughter. Purpose. Love. Jared's breath caught. I didn't do it for recognition. I know, she said. That's why it mattered. A pause. Do you have room for one more? He smiled. Always. And then, she kissed him. It wasn't urgent. It wasn't desperate. Just two souls finding gravity. The next morning, Lissa saw the difference. Sale cooked breakfast. Jared whistled while checking the power cells. And when they walked past each other, they brushed hands like it was the most natural thing in the world. Lissa just smirked. Months passed. They upgraded the dome. Expanded the solar net. Jared registered both Sale and Lissa under his family license. Sale took a local contract teaching alien physiology to cadets. Lissa got an internship on an orbital lab. Every day, something grew stronger between them. Until they weren't just surviving anymore. They were living. Then, the knock came. Not a sound they heard often. Visitors were rare. Jared opened the airlock to find a man in uniform. Civilian registry. Holding a data slate. Jared M. Rayner? Jared nodded slowly. You're the legal guardian of Lissa, alien minor designation X, 713 Kappa? That's right. There's been a claim filed, the man said. By distant relatives. Bloodline tie verified. They're requesting custody. Jared's stomach dropped. What? They've recently re-established contact. Believe the child is rightfully theirs. Sale stepped beside him. I am her biological mother. The man blinked. They say you died during the collapse. I didn't. Even so, lineage law grants equal rights to elderkin within same species. Jared felt heat rise in his chest. She's been here for nearly 10 years. You can't just take her. There will be a hearing, the man said. You'll be allowed to make your case. When? 3 days. Mid-sector Judiciary Hub. Then he handed them the slate, and left. That night, Lissa didn't speak. She sat by the window, knees tucked up, watching stars she could name in 3 languages. Jared sat across from her. Hey, he said gently. We'll fight this. You know that, right? She nodded. Sale came behind her, wrapped her arms around her shoulders. They don't know you, she whispered. They didn't come for you. Not like he did. What if they win? Lissa asked. Then we don't let them, Jared said. You're our daughter. That doesn't change with paperwork. The hearing was long. Cold. Sterile. Jared wore his best shirt. Sale braided her hair with the traditional vines of her people. Lissa stood between them, stronger than either remembered. The distant relatives were old, stooped, more interested in legacy than love. They spoke of heritage, of bloodlines. Of proper place. Jared spoke of nights teaching Lissa how to rewire a generator. Of holding her when she had fevers. Of learning to cook food she could digest. Sale spoke of the fire in her daughter's eyes. Of the joy they had built. Of the choice to stay. And Lissa stood voice clear and said, "They may be my blood, but they are my family." The judge listened. Frowned. Reviewed the slate. And ruled. Custody remains with Jared Rayner and Sale of the Ixari. Petition denied. Outside the chamber, Lissa cried. Sale held her. Jared let out a breath that felt 10 years long. They went home together. And never spoke of the ruling again. Years passed. Lissa became a researcher. She built machines that healed planets. Sale co-authored texts that bridged alien and human biology. Jared opened a workshop that trained hybrid apprentices from every colony. And their home, once quiet and small, became full of light and life and laughter. And every night, no matter how tired, they sat together beneath the painted stars. Family. Chosen. Built. Enduring.